pastry first. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is actually rolling and lining our tin. Now, I'm cheating and I'm using ready rolled pastry. You don't have to use that, you can make your own. This is 375 grams, which will be more than I need. If you were going to be doing this, I would do 300 grams of plain flour, 150 grams of margarine, butter, half and half, fat, lard, whatever you would like to use. But I'm going to cheat because it's the pastry part isn't so much the bit that makes the lemon meringue pie, it's the filling and the meringue on the top. So this is just a cheat's way. Make sure that if you do use the ready to roll pastry that it is at room temperature. It's really important, otherwise you can't roll the damn thing out. It cracks and breaks. So just unroll it, it's up to room temperature. Pick it up and use it to line your tin. So if you pull it up, whoops, it's a little bit too big on one side. Just ease it into your tin. Don't worry so much at this stage about it being perfect. All you're doing is easing it into the tin. Just like that. Once you've got the majority of it in the tin, then you need to pull the paper out and then you'll be able to do it tidily. So pull the paper out. Okay, just like that. And you've got it into your tin. This is an 8-inch tin. Okay, tip number 1, get a piece of paper, a piece of pastry, and just use it to ease your pastry into the sides. So it just eases it in. You can use your finger as well. This is a bit sticky, so I'm not going to bother using that, but normally I would use that. So use your fingers to just ease your pastry right the way into the sides. And you want an overhang of about 1 centimetre all the way around, and it's really important that you have this overlap. So at the bottom of my tin down here, I haven't quite got enough pastry. So just rip a little tiny bit off and fill in that gap. Okay, just blend it in so that you don't get a great big lump of it. If you get any breakages at the bottom, you need to cover those up. So if you've got, like, I'm going to make a deliberate, oh, I've got a hole, just get a tiny little piece of pastry and fill it in. You don't want any gaps because your filling will go through that, your lovely lemony stuff. Okay, so make sure that, okay, trim off your pastry that's excess. So use a pair of scissors and just trim it off. You need to leave about 1 centimetre all the way around because you're going to bake this and then trim it. So you're going to part bake it and then trim it. And then you get a professional like the pastry chefs get. And it looks so much nicer. So trim that off. Okay, so your tin is lined. It's nice and neat. And it'll be beautiful once it's actually out of the oven. Tip number 2. We're going to part bake this, so we need to line it. Normally, well, you could use this paper. Perfect. I could put this in and I could add some lentils, some baking beans, whatever. But another trick for you, another tip for you, another trick from the pastry chefs, cling film. You think, oh my God, it will melt. It won't. I guarantee it will not melt. So put your cling film in, and I'll tell you the benefits of cling film compared to paper. Fold it back on itself and rip it off. Whoops. The benefits. With cling film, you can get right into, you can lift it up and get right into those edges. With paper, you tend not to get a really lovely tight seal. So, right the way in, right to the edges. Spend a couple of minutes doing this. Don't rush it. I'm trying to do my video quickly just to show you. And then you're going to put in whatever baking beans. I'm using lentils because I've got hundreds of thousands of millions of lentils. And you want about a 1 centimetre layer, just enough to keep your pastry down, just like that. So lentils in, and then fold your cling film back on itself, making sure that you don't leave any gaps. Okay, push that down. And I've got a little tiny bit of a hole here, where I haven't quite got enough cling film. So just rip another piece off. And put that on. Just like that. And then this is going to go into the oven, 160, for about 15 minutes, and then I'll show you what to do next. So we're just going to part cook this just like it is. All right, I'll see you soon. I've just got the pastry out of the oven. It is hot, so be careful. And all you're going to do next is pull out your parcel. Bob on. Save that. You can reuse them for another day. My pastry at the bottom is still soft. It is not fully done yet. But what we need to do is we need to trim it off and make it look nice. Sharp knife. So the edge, just let it rest on the edge, and then very carefully trim off all the way around. I like to eat these bits. And then this is going to go back into the oven for about another 10-15 minutes. You need to fully bake it. But if you do it halfway, so it's had 15 minutes, it means that you can trim it off and make it look really nice. Professional. So trim that all the way around. And this goes back into the oven, 160 again, for about another 10-15 minutes. You want it 100% fully baked because the meringue is not going to take very long. And whilst this is baking for the second time, I'm getting all my ingredients ready for the filling. Just like that. Take that out. Okay, perfect. So it looks really nice and neat. Back in the oven, and I'm going to get on with my filling, and I'll see you in a minute. Ready for the filling. Perfect. Okay. You want 6 lemons, the zest and the juice. Now, I've already put the rest of my lemon zest and my juice into here, but I just want to show you that all you need is the yellow part. So do not add in the white part. The white part is bitter. That's the pith, and it's bitter. So all you're going to do is grate finely the zest, the yellow part, straight into your saucepan. So I've got 6 lemons, zest and juice. You can use an ordinary hand grater. I just love this one. It's so much easier to use. That's that done. Knock all that lovely flavour in. Cut it in half. If you pop these lemons into the microwave for a few minutes, they will actually release more juice. Squeeze it all out. Oh, get your bingo wings flapping. That goes in. Run it through your fingers so that you collect any seeds. You don't want any seeds in your lemon meringue mixture. You want it zingy, but you don't want it pippy. Oops, got another half. That's it. Last one in. No pips. Perfect. To that, you're going to add 400 mils of water. So 400 mils. I've got boiling water because I just want it to start it off a bit quicker. And you're also going to add in 65 grams of corn flour. So if you put it in at this stage and stir it constantly, you will not get lumps. Knock it all out. So you're going to put this onto the boil, bring it up to the boil, just like that. And we're going to cook this until it's nice and thick. Then what we're going to do is, I've got granulated sugar and 6 egg yolks. And they're going to go in, and we're going to mix those as well. So I'm going to go between the two. And this is going to be our really lovely, zingy, lemony. And the last thing that I'm going to add in for the minute is a capful of lemon essence. Just to make it pop even more. So bring that up to the boil, and as soon as that's boiling, then we can add our sugar and egg yolks. So onto that one, give that a little mix. We don't want to cook the egg yolks for too long because we do not want scrambled egg, which wouldn't be very nice at all. Beautiful. Nice and easy. I've saved the egg whites for the top of meringue, which we will do in a minute. We have volcanic boiling eruptions. This is how you want it. It's gone really, really thick. Really, really thick. I'm going to add in a really big knob of butter. Traditionally, it doesn't have it in, but I like it where it tastes like lemon curd and it's got that butteriness and creaminess and it's sweet as well. So I'm going to put that in and then I'm going to add in my egg yolks and my sugar. Get it all in. I'm always tempted at this stage to lick the bowl, even though it's just egg yolks and sugar and lemon. And give it a really good mix. And you're going to pop it back onto the stove just for a minute, because we want to thicken it again with the egg yolks, but what we don't want is to scramble it. So keep moving it all of the time. And it will go even thicker and more unctuous. And it tastes and smells like homemade lemon curd, which if you've ever made it, is just divine. Okay, as soon as that comes up and has a little boil, it's ready and it will go straight into our pastry case. And my pastry case is here, ready for it. I've cooked this for about a minute. It's now ready. So this is going to get poured very carefully into our pastry case. And then I'm going to leave this to cool down for a little bit while I'm making my meringue. Delicious. And that's ready for me to make the meringue. I'll see you again soon.